Guys, welcome back to the show. I figured out to sit on the other side of the HHR, the Chevy HHR, so that I'm not have a steering wheel in my front of my face. I don't know why that took so long, but here we are. And I gotta admit, I feel a little bit exposed. Like that, the steering wheel was kind of like a comfort blanket almost, I feel like. But now I'm like all in the open for you to see in all my glory. But anyway, welcome back. We got a show. I can't remember. We got some stuff. I can't remember how much money we had. I want to say we had $612. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, sue me. All right. But it's a little bit cold. Maybe I should blow my nose. I don't want to be sniffling the whole show. Do I got anything to blow my nose on? I'm sure I do. Because there's a diaper bag in here. The Chevy HHR, guys. Anyway, guys, we did get some video games, and this is going to take a few episodes to cover because we went back to the same guy like twice. So anyway, we'll get into that, and I hope that I'm right with the amount of money we had, because let's see, I got a pen here. Excuse me. I don't have a pen. Oh, I'm trying to. I don't have a pen. Anyway, let's see here. So I'm gonna say we start off with $612. All right, we'll figure out the coin part of it, if there is like 60 cents or something like that. Anyway, Friday, my day off, I'm looking at Facebook Marketplace. Sega Genesis lot pops up. Boom. I'm like, oh boy, this one's kind of far away. I think it's like an hour and a half away. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, well, we got to go get this one. I call the guy, I message the guy. I say, hey, I'll buy this. I'll come and get it. He goes, okay. He gives me his phone number. So I call him and I'm like, hey, all the games in there, and do they got the instruction booklets? He goes through each one with them. He goes through each one of them with me on the phone. Oh, I can hear an opening the case. Yes, that one has it. Yes, that one has it. There was one or two that didn't have the manuals. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll come get it. He's like, all right. I said, I'm about an hour and a half away. He goes, okay, I got you. This thing must have been blown up. I think he mentioned it when I got there. He's like, man, I get a lot of message for that. And I said, yeah. But anyway, I see Wings of War right off the rip. Okay? I'm like, oh, and he says that one's got the instruction booklet with it. And I'm like, okay, here we go. I had just sold my Wings of War that I had bought on eBay, and it was clean, and I just sold it. I was like testing waters on trimming down the PC. And man, I regretted that one after. I was like, man, what the hell did I sell this shooter for? I don't know why, actually. So anyway, I was glad to see that. And so we get there, and I think I paid $125 for the Sega Genesis lot. We get there, I pick it up, bang. We only kept 2 games out of the lot, but we got Wings of War, CIB. It's not in quite as good a shape as the one that I had, but I mean, for the price we paid, see, there's a little bit of something there on the label, but it's not bad. For the price we paid, I mean, well, no brainer, right? So we paid $125. We had 612, so 512, 502, and we still need 15 after that. So 502 minus 15 is 85 plus 2, 87. 487, right? 487. And here's the other one we kept. Okay? Double Dragon. We love Double Dragon around here. People always want to tell me about this freaking River City Ransom. People going, oh, I love River City Ransom. It's so cool. Oh. Double Dragon. All right, I never played River City Ransom as a kid. It was Double Dragon. All right, look, maybe some of you guys had River City Ransom as a kid. I get that, okay. But in my neighborhood and every surrounding, I never seen River City Ransom as a kid. So it's Double Dragon. All right. Anyway, Double Dragon. Here we go. I don't know. It's kind of banged up, but I didn't realize this one's pretty good. See, I think there's like a tear in the box right here. It's damaged, okay? And it's beat up, but what we have in here is worth, is worth. We have worth in here. Double Dragon manual, okay? Extra little Jimmy Jammer. Boom. Got to have the extra Jimmy Jammers. This is what we call a registration card, I believe. You got to have the registration card. Does it have the registration card? Is it CIB with the registration card? And all the inserts? I think it's missing one insert. And the cart tray's tore up. But I'm seeing these things go for, $50. And I think with those inserts, I'm gonna see if I can get $100. People love the freaking registration card and the little extra insert. $100 then. You guys playing pocket pool over registration cards? Then fine. That's fine with me. We'll do it. River City Ransom, like, it's fun, okay? I get it. And with the dang, I don't know. You go in and you buy a bowl of rice from a guy, you get a super kick. You go in, you buy a comic book from a guy, you get the ultimate power punch. It's like I don't know. And I never could understand where I was going in the game. It's not like a linear game, I don't think. Because I was always trying to play it like left to right, left to right, left to right. And it's like you get a dead end, they're like, you going the wrong way. I'm like, what are you huh? I mean, I'm going the wrong way. I just got to the end. What's going on? Look, the little guys they go barf and oof, and it's fun. It's fun. It is fun. I like that. But the whole I'm a straight up. Let's get the action. Let's go. Like with my shooters, you guys, I can't stand the slow. maze, puzzle shooters. Like, I just want to destroy stuff and fire as fast as I can and bomb things. So with the beat 'em up, I'm like, what are we doing here? What am I trying to play Zelda and beat 'em up at the same time? The only thing I like about River City Ransom is the animation guys. What are they called? There's a name for them. Some kind of, it's like Super Dodgeball has it. The soccer game has it. The Spike V Volleyball has it. The Spike V Volleyball has it. It's a thing, all right, and it is fun. But Double Dragon Supreme Master, get out of here. Bimmy and Jimmy and Bimmy and Timmy. Those guys are the opening scene for the first Double Dragon, where the guy just poof. Like, what? What? You can't do that. Gosh, you can't do that. What's her name? Marion? I don't know. For my money, it's the Belle from Bayou Billy.
The Adventures of Bayou Billy.
For my money. Gosh, I can't remember the name. I should. But for my money, that one's kind of on the edge too, with the like guy who's anyway, so we have those two left. We paid $125. We were down to $487. Is that right? If memory serves me correctly, 487. So we take everything and put it in a lot on Facebook Marketplace. I was asking $100. A guy says we take 80. I'm like, yeah, $80. It was a V6 Sega Genesis, so not a bad one, not like the terrible one. It was a good one. The one we have is a V3. So VA3. I started doing research on the board revisions. The VA3 is like, I want to say it's like the best one you can get. I want, for sound wise, I don't know. They all, of course, there's one guy who comes in and says that everyone who says the terrible one guy will come and say, it's actually not that bad. It actually has superior visuals. And the audio can be, I don't know. So, but I think VA3 is the best one you can get. And VA6 is good. And there's a VA6.5. And like the first VA1 or 2, it's like clunky sound. Anyway, so we sell the rest of that stuff for $80. This is the only two things we kept from that Sega Genesis lot. So that puts us we're at 487 plus 80 plus 100 would be 587. Let's subtract $20 from 587 and we get 567. So we're at 567 now. So as I'm there looking through the Sega Genesis stuff, the guy says, you want to buy a PS2? I'm like, I'll take a look at it. He brings a PS2 out. It's a PS2 Fat. It's got the little network adapter on it, I think. I could be wrong about that. But I remember thinking, it's not bad. A handful of crummy games. and I think a controller or two. He says he wants $125 for it. I'm like, or maybe 100. I'm like, I said, nah, I'm good on that. I said, you got anything else? He goes, yeah, I got some GameCube stuff. I'm like, okay, I'll take a look. He brings out a giant tote. You know what I'm talking about when you see the giant tote coming. And I basically lost control at this point. And I'm thinking, I start sweating, you know. He brings it out. I start taking a look. I'm like, how much you want for all this? He's like, I don't know. I haven't gone through it yet. I need to go through it. My buddy, he knows about it. I'm like, shoot, I got to make a play on this, you know. So I'm like, I throw out a number, and he's like, yeah, I really don't know. I haven't gone through all this stuff yet. So I'm like, at this point, when people do this, when people will bring out something that they say they have, and they're buying stuff, and then you start looking at it, and they start saying, maybe it's not for sale. I always wonder, what the hell did you bring it out for? Just to fish for a number. Okay, I think we're fishing for a number at this point, right? It has to be. Didn't hear the number he liked. So I'm like, well, you know what? I'm not trying to spend a lot of money on this. It was good stuff, really good stuff. I'm like, you know what? I'm not trying to spend a lot of money on this. I try to go with this route. I've done this before. It never works. I go with the old, let me try to help this guy out. Let me actually tell him what this stuff is worth. And maybe he'll be grateful and appreciate that I'm being honest and give me a deal. This never works. I've done this with old people. I've done this with people that have dirt floors. I've done it multiple times. It never works. It never works. I go through it with them. I say, here's what you got. Here's what it's worth. So I hit him with a number that's about, I want to say, I'm probably going with a 50 or 60% offer right off the rip. It might have been 75 because I could tell the guy was stiff. He gave me the Sega Genesis stuff, so I said, I'm telling myself I got a little wiggle room here to pay up. He didn't give me the Sega Genesis stuff, but what the profit was going to be, you know, what we were in $45 now for a $125 game and a $50 to possibly $75, $80 game. So I'm doing that math in my head. So I try to the old honesty move. It blows up in my face. I say, you know, I'll give you whatever. He says no. I'm like, oh, freak. And he's like, man, I'm gonna have to go through it. He keeps saying, I'm gonna have to go through it. So I just basically tell him, I'll give you, you know, I thought it was worth like $350. So the first number I hit him with was like 200. He says no. I'm like, okay, buddy. All I got is $250. I said, I got $250. Then, you know, I'm thinking it's worth like, I'm actually thinking it's worth like 300, maybe a little more at this point. But he's like, nah. I said, okay. I just wanted the stuff at this point. You know, I'm like, I'm here. You know, it's good stuff. I might make a little bit of money. It's cool stuff to have. So I'm like, okay, how about I give you $250 right now. I've already paid you for $125 for the Sega Genesis. I give you another $250. I said, if you trust me, I PayPal you $50 when I get paid. He's like, okay, we'll do that. So I end up with the stuff. Let's go through it. We're 30 minutes into the video. I apologize. Let's go through. It's awesome stuff. First of all, we have a GameCube with the controller. Okay. Let's see here. GameCube with the controller. It's not the digital AV out one, but it came with the power supply. It came with the AV. So there we go. I'm thinking, okay, there's $50. We can sell that for $50. Oh, and then one of the games didn't work. So one of the games was Mario Party 7. All right, it didn't work. Didn't have the manual. It didn't work. I took it to Dusty's. To nuclearize it. I said nuclearize the dang thing with the buffer machine. They hit it in the buffer machine. I bring it back. It's not doing anything. So I say, hey man, that Mario Party didn't work. He says, okay, how about $25 off? Just give me $25. I'm like, oh man, that was, I was counting on that game to be like worth $50-$60, but okay, I'm not gonna push the issue here. So we're down to $275 for the whole thing. All right, $275 for the whole thing. We had an empty case, Super Mario Sunshine. We have a Super Mario Sunshine Black Label that we had to buy a manual for. I want to say it was $15 or $20. So what were we at? We're at $567. Let's just say it was $17. We're down to $550. Down to $550 minus $250. What am I thinking? We're down to $550 minus $250. So $300. We're down to $300 now. But we got this CIB. We got this. It's faded label, no manual, but it works. Oh, and by the way, this memory card right here, I stick it in. It's a huge one. I start looking up comps for it. It's like a $40 memory card. Okay. That's like a $40 memory card. We got Soul Calibur 2. That'll work. Paper Mario. Here's a good one, I think. This is the first one I noticed. I'm like, oh, I'm buying this whole thing. I'm buying this whole thing. And this one. If this one was Black Label, I would keep it because it would be a childhood one. But I see Kirby's Air Ride. I see this. Okay. And I'm like, well, I'm buying this. Whatever it is. So we're $250 in the hole. These got to be worth $10 a piece. I'm gonna count them as $10 a piece. They're empty, but you know what? We'll count them as $15. Okay, so we're down to $240, $235. This has got to be worth $45. I'm gonna say it's worth $45. So we're at $235. We're at 200 minus 10 more. 190. Let's try the math situation out here. 190. This is a $40 thing. Loose. 190 minus 40. 150. What's this? $20? 140. What's this? 100? It's $40, probably a little more. We're at $100. I'm counting this one as $80. Down to $20. Counting this one, CIB with a memory card. What were we down to? $20? I'm counting this one as $40, at least. Probably 60 in my opinion. I'm being just buffering here. So we're up $20. Plus that memory card's $40. We're up $60. Plus the GameCube. Did I count that yet? We're up $110. So not bad. He calls me. He's like, hey, I found the box for that GameCube. I'm like, okay. He's like, he sends me a picture of it. He's like, you can come get it, you know. He's adding it in. I'm like, oh, yeah, hell yeah. Here we go. All right. So I'm like, okay, I got to make another hour-and-a-half trip, but I'm going to get that box. I said add another $100 worth of value. So we were up. What were we up? I don't know. Add $100 to whatever we were up. I think we were up 20, 60. We were up 110. We're up $210 now with this box. I go get the box, right? It's super clean, guys. The box is super clean, okay? Look at this. This thing is super clean. You hear that? It's got everything in it, even the little twisty ties. I open it up. It has everything in it. It has everything in it. It's got the little baggies. It's got every little baggie. It's got the twisty ties. It's got the receipt with it. But the serial number on the receipt matches the serial number on the console. From Walmart. $99. The serial number matches the receipt. I'm not taking any less than $250 for this GameCube. So put me up. I was up 100 and I keep forgetting 110. I said add 100 for value. Add 150 for value. I'm up 260. Oh, and this, the blister pack for that $40. It's got little paper in it still for that $40 memory card. Here we go. It's cut, but I mean, that just helps the sale right there. So guys, while I'm there, he goes, I got some Xbox 360 stuff. You want to take a look at it? That'll be in the next video. So guys, I can't remember what we ended at value-wise, or how much money we still got in the bank, but I had a Nintendo GameCube. I'm going to try to do this real quick. This video is going very long, okay? I had my Nintendo GameCube. I tried to go to college, and I was there for like I don't know, is it called a semester? I wasn't there for half. I was there for like the first grading thing, and I said, I'm coming home. I'm not doing this. And in hindsight, Pops and Ma probably should have said, when I said I didn't want to go to college, they probably should have said, okay, we're going to hold on to this opportunity that we have saved for you until you say you're ready. But no, I wouldn't change anything in my path of life, where I've ended up right now today. I wouldn't change it. If you told me you can go back and change this and that, I wouldn't, because I love where I'm at right now. But I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from, but I was just thinking about, man, maybe I should have went. For me, if if they tell me I don't want to go, I'm gonna say okay, because in about a year or two after going and getting you a paycheck week to week and renting your own place and this and that, I feel like you're probably gonna come back and say, hey, I'm ready to try out that college thing. But anyway, I come home, I get a job pushing carts at the grocery store. I buy myself I had the Xbox mom had hooked me up with. The PS2 I bought with a buddy while I was in college. We went and bought a PS2, and then I took it. That's a whole nother story. I took the PS2. I said, I'll pay you back the half that I owe you. He was pissed about it. He's like, man, you gotta leave that here. I'm like, no, hell you not. Because I was the one who played it. He didn't play it. He played a little bit, but I ended up not paying him back for a while. He shows up to the grocery store and says, where's my money? And I basically told him, and this was my buddy, man. This was my buddy all through high school. You know, he comes with one of our other buddies, and they both show up to the grocery store. I basically could tell him, kick rocks, buddy. I don't have it. I've been blowing it on bags. But after that, I knew his dad. I I drummed it up and got it to him eventually, but we didn't talk after that. But years later, he said, I talked to him, but we didn't talk for a while after that. But anyway, so I'm at the house. I had a PS2, I had an Xbox. I go get the GameCube, right? It was cool. I had a black one. I had a jet black. And I had Luigi Mansion, which I thought was cool. I was playing NBA 2K on it for some reason. Like, I don't know why I wasn't playing that on PlayStation 2. I had the orange controller. I had, a black, I had I had 4 controllers to play the basketball game on. With my cousin Grant, he come down and we were living together, and I had the GameCube, and I just remember I didn't play it much. I don't have a whole lot of memories with the GameCube, except that I was like, oh, I've got all 3 of the new gen consoles. And that, I think, I stopped gaming after that. I started just hanging out and working and drinking after that. I didn't really play a whole bunch of video games again until later. I didn't buy a PS3 or anything like that. I've never had a PS4. I got a PS3 later and was playing Gran Turismo on it online and played a bunch, but yeah, so the GameCube, I really don't have a whole lot of love for it. People go nuts over it. I had Wind Waker. I had Animal Crossing. Okay. The little trailer we lived in, it was a single wide trailer. Me and my buddy Ben. All right, me and Grant got it. Me and Grant went and got the things, did the lease and all that. He ended up moving back to Michigan. He didn't know anybody. He didn't have no connect, so he went back to Michigan. The guy he was working with was a friend of mine. So he ends up moving in to the place. Here's a couple of 22-year-old guys just chain smoking cigarettes inside the single wide trailer, hanging out of our mouth, talking to each other, playing Animal Crossing for hours a day. It's spending endless time playing Animal Crossing. People would come over, like the fellas, and everybody would be coming over, and they'd be like, what the hell are you doing? And we'd be like, well, this game's great. I don't care what you say. This game's amazing. We're playing Animal Crossing. So that's why that one means a little bit to me, actually. I forgot about that. I just remembered. Like, I always see Animal Crossing, I'm like, oh man, I used to have that one. I like it. But the memory just come back to me about playing that with Ben. And we used to play Halo 2. I think the first one and the second one all the time too, together. And the cigarette would just be dangling off your lip, and you'd be talking, and then just be dangling, drinking beer. You know? And Ben, I gotta tell this story real quick, was a buddy of mine. We were tripping mushrooms one time, and we go walking around the neighborhood, and we fall out in this vacant lot field or whatever. And I'm laying there looking up at the stars, and I'm like, dude, I jump up. I'm like, dude, there's ants all over me. I'm getting lit up by ants. I'm like, there's ants all over me. I'm getting lit up, dude. He's laying there. He's like, dude, no, you're not, man. And he goes, no, you're not. He goes, you're tripping. I'm like, I stop. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You're right. I am tripping. I'm like, I'm tripping. So I go to, I lay back. I don't know. I think we got up and moved at that point. He's like, you're tripping, dude. Relax. The next day, I wake up. I'm lit up with ant bites all over me. There's ant bites all over me. And I go up to him. I go, dude, I told you I was getting bit by ants, man. Look at me. He starts laughing. He goes, I knew you were getting bit by ants. I was like, you son of a bitch. You knew I was getting bit. He told me. He sat there so cool. And he was like, dude, you're not getting bit by ants, man. You're tripping. Oh, man. So, that's the show, guys. 45 minutes. I don't know if you're going to make it, but I'll go over the Xbox stuff next time because we picked it up. Oh, man. The absolutely, completely free Super Famicom Shooter Collection Project, an homage to my Japanese bloodline.